welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a silver Vi. Now normally we would be, being shilling on the first buff and going on with our first clears, but obviously as you can see, we're get to Blitzcrank. And in Blitzcrank, silvers must invade and your team must get hooked, and then everyone must flash over the walls, and then someone must get first blood, and all the summoners must be burned. And if you're the Vi, you have to know how exactly you plan on dealing with this randomness. Now, I am making a main channel video showcasing what to do when things are really tragic, like 042, you're level 1 on a wolf camp at 2.5 minutes, and you're playing an assassin. Now that will go up tomorrow, so Thursday, so by the time most of you watch this in the future, that will be available, just be the Rengar thumbnail on the main channel. You know, level 1, level 17, look at the gap in terms of KDA, etc. But Vi, in this regard, this doesn't affect your jungling at all, right? Yes, we lose some sums, we get first blood, that's great, not first blood, but we get a kill. So for us, it's really, really good. But it doesn't affect our first clear rotation, unless, of course, this is a situation, right? But does she have sums? Yes. Do they have sums? No. Is the Nocturne going to punish it? Let's hope so. Blitzcrank didn't waste any of his sums either. So you have to be fully aware of which sums were burned and what might be abused by the enemy jungler as much as what you could abuse yourself. And that's a critical thing here, is that people don't really track those kinds of things. They just think, hey, look at this. I mean, that's just standard stuff from the blue team's bottom lane. They know that there's no sums on the misfortune, and she's just gonna stand there, and this is silver for you. There we go. Silver gaming. What are we doing about it? Virkayu.gg's comprehensive courses will give you all of the up-to-date information you need to climb on your MMR. This is all in addition to our powerful one-on-one coaching and access to the Coaching VOD library. Sign up today and get a 20% discount that goes until the end of January. Take your potential and convert it into reality. What are we doing about it? Blue side. Right, and what are we gonna do afterwards? Red side. What time were we crossing? At 2:29, 2:30. So not too slow, not too fast. Nocturne in the meantime is just going to carry on sequencing. We have the GP killing the Olaf. Obviously the Olaf used his flash over the wall. We do know that much. This is immediately what's different between low elo, mid elo, and high elo. High elo junglers are running around absolutely high-paced jungling. Red side quadrants into side lane gangs. Red Raptors grump into action. There's always this kind of hyperactivity in terms of making sure we can get on the map and do good things based upon the lane states, and obviously what also allows us to get fed. If you're full clearing on a Vi, you're taking your hands off the wheel, coin flipping that you can get a level 4 gank, and coin flipping versus another silver jungler that you're both going to do the same thing, and one person isn't going to run away with it. And that is just not a good game plan, right? This was low. Why didn't we just do blue quadrant and flank in and try and kill the Annie? Burn a flash. Free flash here, which means at 6, free death. Could have also looped back around and done something about this. As soon as your bot lane lost all their sums early, you could have started here. Obviously, it was a little late in this case, I think, but if that invade takes place earlier, then yeah, we can start on the top side and just go abuser summonerlessness. Now, Olaf did kill some people, first blood, and waste his flash. GP then decided to kill him, and so we're going to show up here and say, hey, can I kill you again? Olaf. But this gank, right? Nocturne shows up very, very slow clear. 350, 24 CS. Press tab, see 25 CS. He's got a minion, obviously. Are we going to queue into a Nocturne with a spell shield? I don't think that's a good idea. We're kind of low as well, and he has lethal tempo. So do we really want to go and fight this crab? This is more brazen than I would expect, because we have a lot of gold in pocket, right? We could go back to base and spend and just go to the bottom scuttle and then impact this lane. This, for me, is something we should just, like, why are we wasting this time? Reset. You gotta kill first. You sequenced up full clear, you got away with it. You got away with it. And you gotta kill. Back to base, right? What do we got in pocket here? 1400, boom! Easy serrated Dirk, just run down to the bottom lane. Get some kills. Obviously you get this as well. But this, in the Jungle Improvement PDF, I am going to be releasing that hopefully later this evening. It is now 34, 35 pages of jungle exercises and context and checklists and knowledge and explanations and hopefully some funny things, some examples. Free on the site. Just sign up with your email and you will get it as soon as it comes out. Hopefully that can help, but we talk about this in the first exercise. Look at this. Look at this clear difference and what the Nocturne is basically getting away with. Because the enemy jungler should just be like, why are we fighting this? Obviously, I know the Akshan has pushed the Annie out, killed the Annie out, and has prio. So yeah, okay, look, we get this. But from my perspective, it's like, well, if he's so damn slow and I don't want to 1v1 it and I have to wait 30 seconds for this to transpire, I might as well just reset, kill this, and kill this. Right now, this is the double kill. And you know what? When you look and do some of those exercises and it says, see what ganks are missed, this is a great example of what gank is missed. Because we chose to take a top scuttle, And I don't care that our bot lane does the work and gets the kills. That's irrelevant here. I'm glad they did. Good for them. But what if they didn't? What if they died? What if they're low? What if the enemy bottom lane got away with it? Right? You have to always think in terms of, right now, can I fight this guy 1v1 over the scuttle based upon the map in its current state? No? Right, back to base, spend, down, snack. And now, of course, because we know the guided red Krugs wrapped us up, we know that these are counter-jungleable, and we know that the Nocturne's most likely going to greed for this, and then reset. But because we'll have item advantage, because we have 2 kills and he has 0, that means we can actually maybe try and fight him. Or just straight up gank mid lane. Because this will be pushed up again, because the auction had to go back to base. So there's so many cool little things that silver junglers miss because you just de facto full clearing and try and ego a crab. Instead of thinking, right, have it. Guy, you are 345 full clearing topside. That is horrific. Now what's funny is that the Nocturne's going to absolutely pop off KDA-wise. So you have to wonder, how do we even let that happen? And why do we let that happen as a low elo jungle? It happens all the time as well. So, in the meantime, we have the Nocturne here who is not even, I mean, what has he been doing? You know, even if he shows in the minimap, if you're like watching a coaching, and you're talking about this, you see him in the minimap and you're like, well, what is he doing? How did we go from 340 to 560 and you take 1 camp? Now, there have been some hilarious cases where people in low elo are just casuals and they kind of sit around a little bit, or, you know, I don't know, just leave their PC. Some just go AFK for 3 minutes and the character doesn't DC and just sits there. I had that once in the coaching session. But in this case, this is quite typical. GP ult is used on the Olaf is running away, Akshan gets to pick up a kill. What we have done is just sequenced. So now imagine you're the Vi in the situation, you're going, well, this is pretty solid, this is pretty good. But at the same time, are we actually accomplishing anything other than our laners winning and us benefiting from it? Now we're just going to cue a wave for some reason. Yeah, all right. Now the Nocturne, in the meantime, let's have a look here. There we go, buddy. There you go. Good job, guy. And now we're going to shadow down here and we'll say, maybe we can go bottom lane. Oh, look, we got 1 kill. Ashe is low. Can I kill Ashe? Let's have a look. We're the same level as the ADC. All right, here, a little bit behind the wall. She chucks us out. She decides, hey, I better space up, so we're going to force the flash with our flash, but now we have no gap closer. Although we should be able to snack something, maybe. Can we E? You see, so while this does happen, and you get that sort of proximity assist, like, okay, I forced the flash, I got the kill, the experience, and now I can do the dragon, that's great. But I always like to think, what could I have done instead that would have allowed me to get more kills? Because that's just the one event, right? That's one event. But maybe I could have burned a flash earlier. Maybe I could have gotten this kill for free. There's always the what-ifs that you have to use as a jungler when you're doing VOD review, because you have 3 different decisions, and all 3 can be great decisions, but sometimes they'll play out differently. And, you know, sometimes an event that happens later would have benefited a different decision. And of course, that is the definition of results-based thinking. So you don't want to do it, which is why whenever I'm in this tight spot, I think to myself, what is the most optimized play possible? And you have to try and think it quickly. Look, I can't fight back to base, take this, snack this, contest this if I can, or just fall back there, loop back, kill mid, cool, cut in. Can I gank top lane again? No, all right, I can loop back to this and then reset, go straight dragon, or straight bot lane 6 and then dragon. So that was quick, but that's how I try to think in game very, very quickly, like the extrapolation of different alternatives, and that comes from experience. So if you're silver, don't worry about that, right? Just look for the next best play in the moment. Just look for the next best play in the moment. And in the jungle classes, the course I'm making, that will be the first one I release, the silver one. So you can get to gold. I'll talk a lot about what simple cookie cutter plans and principles we can use to kind of make these plays. Because we need a framework, right? We need a framework. And the Nocturne just farmed, got 6, altered bottom lane. Look at the Vi! You just take your hands off the wheel and you say, Odin, guide me. And you don't really do anything. And the Nocturne, bless his soul, has farmed very, very slowly, inefficiently, and was not punished. If this is a jungler against a challenger jungler, high elo jungler, he will be eviscerated. Even a gold or platinum jungler will eviscerate this person. And what the Vi is doing is just basically low KP sequencing, and you're up 16 CS, but if you're going to be doing this, you should be at like 20, 25 CS because you should be counter jungling. So the objective is great, but reactive pathing. If you're silver, use the concept of reactive pathing. That'll be in the jungle PDF, all the definitions to this stuff. But the reactive pathing means if I see the Nocturne ganking here, big fight, rotate. See what you can clean up. See how you can impact this fight, right? Do so with discipline. I'm reactively probably going to do something about it. But it can also mean, hey, look, the Nocturne's here they're pushing up and fighting a lot, and I have 2 kills. Why don't I reactively path and kill the bottom lane and give up the top scuttle? Like, if you give him a doggy treat, and he eats it, right, for 20 to 30 seconds, what else could we do in that time, right? So it's always a case of distracting the jungler with something. I give you this top scuttle, you take it. I'm gonna take your bottom scuttle, your bottom lane's life, and your Krugs. Trade? Good deal? Nice. Because he'll say yes, because he thinks in the moment, I just want the scuttle. He doesn't think beyond the scuttle. So you've got to just think a little bit, maybe 1 to 2 moves ahead of what you're currently thinking about doing. That's it, right? Just 1 to 2 moves, keep it simple, don't overthink it, and you'll find yourself in always a better position if you can reactively path to events where kills can be had, and obviously if you can think 1 or 2 moves ahead, what am I going to do afterwards? Can I do it now? And distract the enemy jungler with it. So think about that, please. I know it's not always easy in this elo because you're dealing with randomness, which is why we want to reactively path, right? We're going to Q a guy with a W shield, then we're going to ult him with an Annie right there. We're going way too deep. We have Sheen plus Warhammer. We don't have tankiness. That's just a bad decision, right? And I don't care the fact that the Akshan got the kill. I don't care about that. I don't care that he got the kill. The engage, you can't say, well, that's a great decision. It's better to kind of chill and bush his, wait for the detachment from the mid lane, set the trap deeper such that no one can rotate. But at the same time, when you do this, please be aware of the bottom lane. Because very typically in history, people have complained that their laners don't rotate. And in Silver, you're going to have this bottom lane shoving up. They will rotate. And then when you're in the reverse situation, your team won't, right? So it's always a case of that paradox. You think it's like it, but it isn't. Most of the time, people will rotate and be obsessed with dragons and fights, and you have to be able to deal with it. So in this particular case, having some space between yourself, the fight, and the lanes is always a good idea. But queuing in right here with Annie right here, I mean, obviously she's going to see it and do something about it, right? If you do it over here, then suddenly she has to walk on over. So maybe she doesn't want to do it. So here we go, red into Krugs, most likely now into Raptors, or we can flex into the top side gank. But this is spaghetti pathing. We're overlooping ourselves. We could just leave the base direct, hit the Krugs, hit the red, hit the Raptors, straight up sequence, nice, cut in or cut up. Or cut in for the invade here. The Nocturne's actually going to go for some juicy invades, 114. Lulu's roaming mid with the Akshan. We're actually going to do the red Krugs into the top lane, which is nice, actually. We're going to miss the Q. Mechanics are a separate issue. Misfortune has left the game. She will be back, don't worry. The Ash shot cinematically misses, as it always does. Do we get the red tick? No, we don't. That's unlucky. Imagine if we hit the Q. Imagine if we also smited. Use your smite if it's up. Flash auto if it's up, flash E if it's up, make sure you hit your skill shots. But now we saw the Nocturne mid lane, right? If we saw the Nocturne low before we did that gank, why couldn't we invade into the blue? We could, but we see this, so we reactively path. Perfect example. Hey, I might want to do this, but look at this fight happening. Let me move and react, cut him off, help out, get the kills. Very good job. Nice. Now imagine we were doing that more often. So we're 4-1-1, and you can be fooled into thinking, hey guys, I'm doing such a good job. I'm an amazing jungler. Yeah, but you're doing a good job for silver junglers, but the enemy jungler is also a silver jungler. He's down only 11 CS, and he has the same KDA as you. KDA, right? He could easily have the same exact KDA. Now we're going to do the Q flash mechanics. We have ultimate available to us. We're going to go ahead and use that on the Ashe. See, this is better. This is much better. Good job. Uncle Brownies. Much better job. You went here. Not always the best pathing order, but you recognize, hey, look, top lane is gankable. So you gank it. You mess up, you don't get a kill, fine. Now the Nocturne's going to get free kills onto the GP here, of course. Nocturne's allowed to do that. Then we float down. Could we counter jungle? Maybe. But I see a fight, so reactively path and kill. Cut across mid lane. Ooh, I see a fight here. Let me react and kill, and then shove, and then take the objective. That's exactly how you want to play. That's the concept of eyes up jungling. Not being obsessed with your own farm or your own sequencing, and instead looking for the next play to be made that's the best play on the map for yourself and your team. So if you can do that earlier... Oh, well, I haven't actually seen one of these in a while. No joke. I haven't seen an Ocean Drake... sorry. I haven't seen a Chemtech Drake as much as I would think. That did not hit, but... Ashe arrow things. Is she just thinking of 1v1ing? Was she just going to ult and 1v1 the Misfortune under the tower? What was the game plan? Annie is showing up here as well. Nocturne's ult is up again. We're going to ult this bottom lane. This is where... Alright, let's do this. This is where, if you're Silver, think deeply about the game. You finish the dragon. Nocturne was seen top lane, right? His ult is available at this point because he hasn't used it. He didn't use it here. He just kind of floated on up as he does. What can we do now? What spawned on the map? This red buff spawned. When I saw him up here, did he have a red buff? No. So what's up? The red buff. Okay. So if I have the lead, and I'm confident that I have the lead, and you should be confident that you have the lead, why don't we queue it over, snack that sucker up? Also, look at this. We've got multiple plates. It's 337, and the Misfortune's gonna greed. Hypothetically, You would always expect your bottom lane to kind of say, right, I got a few plates, I'm ditching. But you have to play what is, not what should be. They're going to stay. Lulu's rotating back down to the bottom lane. Blitzcrank is going back to base, which means what? Ashe is going to show up by herself. Why don't we go and sit in this bush and set ourselves a trap? Look at the vision. If you guys have been scanning and paying attention to vision, you're fine. You also have a scanner yourself, but we don't because you should. See, I skipped over it. You should have a scanner at this point, please. First base, buy a scanner. 100%. Now you can scan, obviously, as you go down to here. This guy is by himself. He's going back to base. Let him go back to base. Don't cancel. Well, canceling here is death. So if someone can kill him, do it. You're not going to get there anytime. So he's back to base, regardless. The Ashe is going to show up. Now we can just do the cheese. She's dead, 100%. Now we can take more plates. Annie's going to show up. Nocturne's going to ult in. Blitzcrank will re-arrive. Can we 3v3 or do we need to disengage? That will be the flex decision making, right? But in the meantime, right, we know the red is up. She actually ends up getting the kill, excuse me for all of that. She does it herself. So we're shadowing down here. Now we're sitting here. Dead Blitzcrank. Waiting, boom, go. That's a free Q. Have Smite up as well. Try and kill her. She has no Psalms. Just kill her. Annie's rotating down, obviously. Akshan's top lane, so this is what you have to be aware of. The Gangplank doesn't have ultimate either, so she's most likely dead here as well. What you can do is, now you're going to start to move away. She's dead. You're moving away. The tower's still hitting minions. Nocturne's ulting Annie's roaming her down, so most likely you're going to want to disengage the scenario, but the point is, you're thinking about making this play. I don't want to deal with what happens afterwards, because mechanically, you can always outplay people in silver. The concept, though, is, hey, what can I do before I go back to my jungle? And in silver, that's always what you want to ask yourselves. What can I do before I fall back to my quadrant? What is available? Where was the jungler last? Where is he going next? End of story. And when you answer those questions, put them on a post-it note next to your game. When you answer those questions, you'll be like, oh, there's so many cool things I can do instead of this Grump, because afterwards the Grump will be available. So say you kill the Ashe, hit a few plates, and they don't all because they're afraid of you now. More plates, fall back, take this, reset, cool, right? But because we did the Grump, now we're rotating down here again. I don't even think about this. We don't even have ultimate. And how much cash money in pocket do we have? We don't have kill threat. We have 2 grand in pocket. We don't have kill threat. Why are we even bothering? In this case, it's a perfect time just to go to Wolves. Now you can go to Wolves. Now you can go hold afterwards if you really wanted to. But ideally, I just sequence. Focus your own econ here. Take all the camps, reset, buy some stuff, go back out in the field. And yeah, with this kind of lead, you don't really have kill threat with just Divine Sundra on the Annie, right? The shield, and you've got the Nocturne right there as well. That's a 2v1. Do we really want to take it? And afterwards now, waste our time, go back up to the wall, walk into the river, clear some wards, waste our time, time wasting. Because we don't ask those questions that I just mentioned. Is it warded here? We wouldn't know because we don't have a scan and we didn't hit the plant. But we see now the Ashe and the Nocturne down here, and he's going top lane, so to top, we do actually have the power. But again, we've got 2k in pocket. So that gold isn't spent. The best concept here was just to shadow dive the Ashe, kill her, push this, everyone resets, or you just full sequence, fall back to base, and they come down again with new items. Potentially sort of you could do your Ghost Blade, the Ghost Blade or Emerald Glaive Rush. Now this is gone. So what are we doing? What purpose do we have here? And I think I've laid out a lot of alternatives already quite quickly, so replay it if you're a little confused, but the whole concept is flow, right? Flow. Is there flow to what I'm doing? Or is it jagged and cut off and weird and sword and it doesn't make sense? And like, if you're standing still walking around in circles, go to the VOD immediately afterwards and just simply do it yourself. What could I have done here? What could I have done there? What could I have done 2 minutes before to stop this? Because we've done one camp. We've done one camp since the dragon. We did the dragon at what? 1341? So we fell back and did this. This is respawning. And all we've done is run around in circles. And now we're not down here when we could be down here. Whereas if we just helped kill the Ashe, took a full sequence, reset, came back to the bottom lane, we'd be right here, right now, trapping for this kill. Misfortune gets the kills, don't care. I want the kills as the jungler. Because you want to carry the game. Now obviously we want to make sure we snack this as well. So Nocturne doesn't care, he's going to ult. Oh boy. See? The Nocturne at the very least is... he's not playing well either, and his champion is allowing him to get into the game more so. But then you always have to say, basically, how am I losing to this Nocturne? How is he a level ahead? He just made better reactive plays. And yeah, he was slow as hell doing everything else, and he has no objectives, but the Vi is the key here, because if you take all the dead time that the Vi had, all the dead time that she's had overall, and basically say, what if she filled that time with purpose, intent, counter jungling, counter ganking, the Nocturne wouldn't be in the situation, we'd be 2 levels up, right? 100%. And I know this because I coach a hell of a lot of every single elo. And I play myself a lot Flex Q as well as solo Q. Because Flex Q allows me to play against, without having to smurf, lower elo junglers. It also puts me into the frame of mind of, hey, this whole 5 stack is communicating at a different level. What could a silver jungler do with a little bit of communication and information? And it's a lot, actually. The game changes a lot when you have information. That information is conveyed by a voice, obviously, in Flex Q, but if you're gathering this information yourself just by looking at the minimap, your information processing unit, if you will, you're able to actually use it for yourself and gain a lot of advantages, right? So like here, why are we going with 3,500 gold now, 2v3 top lane without resetting? Absolutely heinous level decision making that upsets me right here. I am frustrated at this because the Nocturne does not deserve to win this game. No, sir, he does not. Do not waffle. Do not sit on your gold this long. Implement eyes up jungling, reactive pathing, and jungle flow. We'll be in the PDF, that's why I'm using these terms specifically. They're my terms that allow me to kind of encapsulate concepts, condense them down, so that I can just say them once. And if you have the index, which you will have, you can kind of just, oh, okay, right, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, I understand now. And you can use that index in your own VOD review. Did I use this principle? Could I have used this principle here? What about this one? What about that one? And all of those things make it a lot more easy or easier to analyze your own jungling. And this whole concept here of just eyes up, like, okay, I took the dragon one. Oh, let's crank it. Oh, he died. Excellent. Ashe is coming back. Oh, let's just kill the Ashe. And he's coming down. Knocked him out of the ultimate. Oh, he's ulting. Back away, back away. Cool. Snack, 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 snack. Hey, Nocturne still bot lane. Herald is up. Okay, I'll stay out and take the Herald. That's fine. Reset. Now I go straight down to the bottom lane. Use my ult. Cycle, right? And then you, of course, push, take, counter jungle, push, take over their jungle. So the dragon control, I will say, is very good. The Herald control was very good as well. We enjoy that for sure. But we could easily have done that within jungle flow, within like smart decision making, and we just wasted so much time waffling. The Nocturne should be done like 40 CS. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. It's always unfortunate when we make naked your pathing, as it were. We just undress your pathing in front of everyone, but I think that's also good because it draws a lot of focus to it, right? If you didn't know you were doing anything wrong, you would think, oh, what's wrong with this? But when you see it, you very clearly go, oh, it's a little embarrassing because I kind of stood still, walked around. What was I doing? What was I thinking? I have no idea. And then you know, okay, I need to improve it and fix it. So it's always a good concept to use, though. Ashe, in the meantime, over pushes the mid lane. Misfortune says, I will kill. Vi says, cool, my team is carrying. I'm 4-2-3. I'm doing a good job. It's a solid job. Good objectives. We do need above that Ocean Drake soul. Ocean Drake. Chem Drake soul, I think. The Chemtech Drake soul. See, now again, like, we're not sure where we're going next. That's a very simple fix, right? Top scuttle. I have to scuttle. Where am I going? Can I take the scuttle? Should I just go do the next thing? Oh, I'll go do the next thing. What was I planning on doing after that? Ah, ganking bottom lane. Okay. After that, I'm going to go do Grump and Wolves. Verbalize it if you need to. What am I going to do next? So you're never walking around going, what am I doing now? Always. Silver level jungle decision making doesn't need to be super complex, but it obviously will be because jungle is complex. Just ask yourself what I'm doing next and why, and you'll find yourself in a much better situation. Now, the spell shield on the R, never ever alter. Nocturne, who has the spell shield up, wait for someone else to burn it. Patience wins you games. We are basically baiting in our whole team into a fight. Now we're going to go back in here. The Olaf is just, you have to burst them out, you have to burst them out, you have to burst them out. Nocturne gets deep kill. The Ashe arrow hits us in the face. Whereas Caitlyn, when we need her, and now Akshan is like, can I go in? And he says, can I ult you without stunning you, but I'll stun you afterwards. Blitzcrank says, let me silence everybody. Misfortune is fed. Chase down, chase down, chase down. And now again, we have so much less. We haven't even gotten 2 items. 21 minutes, man. Like, we'll get it next, but. Umadi. Man, the fights are just, well, wasn't pretty, but it was a flash queue technically. So, I mean, we'll take that. Now, do we overstay a bit more? Do we overstay a bit more? Just towering out, guys. Fast. No, 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 no. This is where you lose. This is where you give up Barons. Excuse me? Oh, Nocturne's waiting to use the button. What's the cooldown? Is it 13? I mean, if he could just stay, but he doesn't have blue trinket. He has blue trinket. I swear if he just uses blue trinket right here, right now, logically that's where they're going, right? Because they saw the knockdown. If you just use your blue trinket right now, they're going to stop their bases to clear it. They shouldn't. But they will because they don't know if you have your ultimate or not. So once they've done that, oh, the timing, I mean, it's close. It's close. I would like to use it anyway, just in case, right? Let's have a look. 3 seconds. Yeah? Yeah, easy. Hold your blue trinket a little bit, use it, chaps them. Yeah. So again, a little bit of an oversight there by the Nocturne. The Vi is actually still on the field, still hasn't gone back to base. What are you doing? Nocturne now does ult to try and get kills, ends up in the location anyway, won't get anything, but then we'll just straight up kill the gangplank, and from this we're most likely going to give up a Baron, I think. Shovings and Barons. Unbelievable stuff, guys. Hopefully you can see these obvious fixes. They're not very difficult, right? They're not very difficult. It's like, okay, take the tower and get out, because we have Death's Dance. We want to be able to reset and fight over the soul and fight over the Baron, you know? But now we're dead because we overstayed and got chased down. Nocturne missed the opportunity to get 2 kills anyway, right? But good smite. There we go. Dragon will be up next. Oh my goodness gracious me. So now they have that. We're shadowing down to the bottom lane for the soul. But again, we're not doing anything. Like, why, you know, there's nothing to do. Why don't we just take these camps first, hit these plants, clear some vision out, catch a wave, make a pick, and maybe we can just push it mid lane a little bit. I know the Nocturne's an issue, but if the Nocturne's so far ahead, if this Nocturne is so far ahead that he is causing you stress, and you're down a level or 2, there's something fundamentally flawed with your pathing, where you had this advantage with winning lanes, and we couldn't win the game from it. And again, good itemization, just like the Nocturne video on the gameplay channel. Try break it, Death Dance. We're really far ahead now in terms of Nocturne. GA, no one's going to be able to kill us twice. In theory. We're looking for the Annie here. We're going to alto, knowing that the whole team is there with the Nocturne. We don't exactly have the damage profile at this point, and she has the good item Zonias. There we go. Annie stun, Annie burn. We are dead. Rotation from the... Like, we just baited our whole team. Why are we doing that? You know, the pick that you make here is when I know I can kill them in 2 seconds. Like, I'm a Fed Rengar, just gonna ult and kill you. And I'm gonna go back into the bush. Nocturne's ulting me, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna kill you too. You have to be able to chain kill, you have to know the lead that you have. We don't have the lead, we're behind. We have to play more conservatively. You have a 4-level lead, be my guest, you'll win that easily, right? But now they're trapping here. Oh, Gangplank. Misfortune's topside. For some particular and unknown reason, ADCs have the worst macro in the game. I don't understand your logic. Why the hell are you topside with self-spawning? It is confusing to me. Really don't get it. I know, like, you don't need the damn red. Oof. Use your... She gets a kill back anyway. So they're actually going to snack away a dragon here, which is not so bad, because the way the game swung, the pendulum, you're going to have an Elder Dragon up early if you take the soul now, and I think they would get it and just wipe the floor with you, so you don't really want that either. Alright. Let's jump ahead again. We're farming a little bit. 2 kills we missed. Doesn't really matter, I think, what it is. Because there's no macro here, right? There's no macro. It's just a case of... My team, wah, wah, wah. My team, wah, wah, wah. Something like that. Did I get it right? Standing on the grump and typing instead of rotating and fighting. And of course, this is all gone too. Yeah, no, man. There is no reason why anyone is ever silver for extended periods of time when you're actively putting in games, actively structuring your playtime around what's going to be in the jungle PDF. Again, free. So don't worry about that. You know, when you're playing like this and you're not, no doubt, typing and flaming, the laners were carrying you. You missed everything. Why are we playing like this? You know, like we have 2 items at 26 minutes. And the Nocturne, bless his soul, again, didn't play like any sort of monster, but farmed slowly, respectfully, played around his ultimate, perfect, right? Did some counter junglings. Rotated to fights, reactive pathing, very, very good. Vi shows a bottom lane for no particular reason. Ashe ult hits the middle of the lane. Little ult will do nothing. Excellent synergy in solo queue by the Ashe and the Nocturne. GP ult does nothing. Chase him down, chase him down. Good job on the team. This guy's tilted here. This player's tilted here. That looks like it could be a simple GG. Let's speed it up. Man, there is no reason. I think we can agree that Vi should have lost this game. Like, this looked so... like, if my laners are doing this... right? And I had a game like this, actually. And I, in my placements on my main, I slapped down the Zyra jungle, you know, in Master Tier, I think it was a Master MMR average game. I slapped down the Zyra jungle. And usually people dodge, but fortunately I can explain to them, look, I have 1.5 mil on the champion, you know, at least a mil, 800,000 in jungle, you know, 750 is half support jungle. And I counter Maokai. You know, my plants would kill his saplings. Did you know that? Oh, really? I'm like, yeah. He's gonna sapling, I'll clear it. It's like, okay, we trust you. And I had some really good ganks early. Didn't really get the kills, but I got the sums, and my team, obviously being higher elo laners, were able to capitalize it and get the kills. Point being, from this, they won the game. Like, they won lanes, they won the game. I had 35% KP, but 7.6, no, I lie, 8.2 CS per minute. I was able to counter jungle, control objectives, shadow any potential gangster tracking. The enemy jungler could not play the game because he tried, he just could do nothing. So Wukong too, he could do absolutely nothing. Maokai one game, Wukong another. And he just could do absolutely nothing. And so, when your laners are winning, your job very much so is to deny the enemy junglers from affecting that, from getting in the way of that. And you do that by tracking, getting in their faces, taking objectives like the Vi did, but we had too much downtime between them. So if you're low elo jungler and you have coin flip laners in your advantage, and you lose, only look at yourself. Because we could have made it so that they keep winning. Yes, they're gonna overtrade and overstay and die anyway. Like, that's what they do, right? But the point more so is, could I keep the Nocturne, really shut down the Nocturne, or really snowball the lane even harder? Now, the Misfortune did snowball, but imagine if we were there for some of those 2v2s, make them 3v3s, then Misfortune doesn't die. She has 5 less deaths. You have 5 more kills. All of a sudden, no one's getting fed anywhere because you're living in their jungle and they can do nothing. The Talon gameplay that's going out just after this one will showcase this, what to do when I have a lead when I'm the fed one. So there's always these scenarios, right? What to do when you have a lead as a team and you're fed. What to do with the lead when your team is fed but not you. What to do when you have a deficit but you're fed. What to do with the deficit when no one's fed. Those kind of 4 outcomes, you know, the fundamentals will carry you. Now, obviously, this is going to be Soul, so we're trying to get this going. We are able to snack it in. The Nocturne goes in super deep. He ends up burning his GA just to try and contest his Soul point. And of course, we're going to have here the Nocturne get burned down. Blitzcrank gets hooked. Misfortune ults, but from the backline here, beautiful flank by the Annie. Beautiful flank by the Annie, and the Vi goes way too deep, right? Way too deep when you actually just want to be peeling your teammates a little bit as Vi. So, excellent flank by the Annie, a little bit trolled by the Nocturne. Jungler's making me angry with this game. 13-2-13 though. Not really, like I'm happy with the Nocturne. He did what he had to do to win in Silver. The Vi should have won the game, but he farmed, he ulted, he reactively pathed. Great smite on the Baron, nice little snack on this to delay the Soul, and from this they will win, so... I know sometimes it can seem a little bit advanced if you are Silver, but I don't think it is. Hopefully there are some core principles you can break down from this. Sign up for the improvement PDF and I'll explain a little bit further some of these concepts. Don't forget, Gameplay channel has everything you need. Site has everything you need. Main channel has everything you need. Pick your poison. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next coaching.